That goal, they thought that was in for a strike. That one lines into left field, base hit, and Voorhees rallies for 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning and walks off with the state championship.
Welcome, everybody, here on Preview Week. It is Wednesday. We are 2 days away from the start of the high school baseball season. We're with John Kroeger, the guru of New Jersey high school baseball. We have not slept all week, as you can tell. Still wearing the same stuff. We are ready to talk Group 1, Group 2. Group 2 last year, championship, Voorhees. On a knocking out Rumson during the great season, the Truman Show. Truman Richter, one of the best players in New Jersey. Voorhees knocking off who did they beat? Hanover Park in the championship game. Another classic, another extra inning struggle. And in Group 1, it was Middlesex with another tight game, beating New Providence in the finals. Can Middlesex win another title for the GMC, or who will prevail in Group 1? Let's get right to it. John Kroeger, Group 2 has some of the best players in the state.
My team is Rumson, and I'm going to stick with Rumson. I think they have, between Charlie Jones, Jackson Hinchcliffe, John Goods, Amendola, all guys that threw 36 or more innings last year. And then Bruno in the outfield who mashes, and Reese Maroney.
Yeah.
I think this team, if they don't win the Group 2 state title this year, I'm going to be shocked. I really am. I think they're a top 10 preseason team in New Jersey, and they will be the team to beat in that county. I cannot wait till they play Rainey I saw them against Middletown South last year. They hit Ben Shield around. They got him good. And that's why they impressed me. They hit, they pitch, one after the other. I like Rumson. They're sticking with them. Group 2. I'm done. Yeah. I'm done with Group 2. I'm done.
All right. Well, we'll see everybody. Charlie Jones, one of the best, maybe the best pitcher that not enough people know about, going to Wake Forest, is just a flat-out stud. He's got like the perfect pitcher, height, size, throwing in the 90s. Going to be going to work down with Coach Mascara down at Wake Forest. I mean, he's a kid that can go some places, I would think.
Yep. So the only thing with Rumson is, could they end up hitting a Robbinsville with Luke Billings? That people don't know Luke Billings that much. He's a shortstop pitcher. He's one of the best young kids. He's only 15, but he's a dude. And Robbinsville coach actually said, "Hey, I need some really good teams." I said, "Oh," he goes, "Anybody on Saturdays." I said, "Is that the day Luke's pitching?" He goes, "Yes." So he wants to play the big boys. So those two teams are definitely threats to Rumson.
Yep.
I always want to throw Governor Livingston in there. I talked to Schmitty, and I was hanging out the other night with what's his name? I'm sorry, I can't remember. This is a third base coach and we were talking Ralph Yeza, and Ralph was saying, he goes, "We're going to be pretty good." And Donnie Schmitty, I think they're going to be a pretty good club, Governor Livingston. I mean, they do such a really good job, GL, and they're always in the mix. 22-6 last year. I'm trying to think. Spotswood was 20-7. Casey Comiskey comes back. Glenn Fredericks, love the guy, man. You go to a game and he's always smiling, man, and he's always winning. I don't know how he wins. He wins all the time. It's great.
Yeah.
Spotswood. And then Hanover Park. That's my dark horse team with Joey Lapinto. I saw him pitch against Del Barton last year, and it was nothing after 5. And I saw Bruce Chattel starting to get a little bit wheezy in that dugout in the Morris County tournament, and he could not beat. They couldn't hit Lapinto.
Yeah,
but then an error here, an error there, and it was 1-0, and Hanover Park was doomed. It was over.
There's a lot of teams in Group 2. Like I said, we got some of the best players in the state. You go up north, and we've got Aiden Teal, who's now senior Aiden Teal at Mawa. We got Devin Russell. You talk about stud catchers, maybe the best in the state, certainly one of them. Maryland signee at Mountain Lakes. And then we go way south, and we get the Audubons of the world and the West Deptfords of the world that are always tough. We can't forget Logan Duffy out at Manchester, the underdog South champs last year. But what outside of the favorites, who do we like north? Who do we like south?
Okay, I'm going to throw 4 teams at you. Okay, so Richie Horan at Audubon, 13-7 last year. They got a lot back. Rosie had 34 hits last year. Eddie pitched. Okay, and Isaiah Pinckney and the guy everybody knows, Xavier Macy. Audubon's going to be really, really good this year. So that's one. Delran played Delsey in the semifinals last year. Joe Smith did that with freshmen. You got McGinley behind the plate, sophomore this year. His kids are a year older. Joe Smith is a great coach. Love Joe Smith. Delran has their pitchers back, Brogan and Gian Greco. So they got to definitely be considered. And the team you don't want to play in the first round is Cedar Creek. Christian Coppola. They'll just shut you down. You don't want to play Cedar Creek.
No,
so, like you said, Group 2 might be like up north or south Group 4. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, Coppola, Rutgers commit, who was injured, so he kind of flew under the radar. And I mean, you're talking about a kid who's low 90s with sink and just nasty. And you're right. Good luck getting matched up against them.
Yep, and Haddon Heights with Bodine.
Yep.
Gated Bodine. Yeah.
Talk about stud catchers. The 2 best catchers, senior catchers in New Jersey, might very well be on Group 2 schools.
Yes, exactly. Should be interesting.
So way north is Mountain Lakes the favorite over Amawa, or is
I think if Aiden Teal's on the mound, I think if Mawa's playing against Bosco, he could end up shutting Bosco down.
Right.
I like Mawa. Jeff Remo does a super job as a coach. I think he's not going to abuse him. So yeah, I like Mawa's chances this year. I think they got a shot. I'm gonna go with Mawa.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, but like I said, the Devin Russell's a game changer, so that always
yes, he is.
Certainly can impact any game against any team just by himself. But
they also have a pitcher, Dave Horvath. He's lights out. Mountain Lakes is a good team.
So no, you're right.
They only lost 6 games last year, Mountain Lakes.
Group 2 is going to be tough. Every bracket.
Yes.
The Group 1s. Middlesex was our state champ last year. Middlesex, along with Spotswood, moving up to and Metuchen, moving up to the white division in the GMC. Might take a hit in the regular season schedule and still end up with more power points than they had last year. They're always good. But what are we looking at on the Group 1s?
Middlesex coach Nastasi, he just figures it out. He's like, I'll play him. And his schedule's already hard. He plays a great non-conference schedule. Stephen Young, one of the better shortstops, pitchers around. He's gonna get 8 wins. Ty Nikolai is back infielder, and a guy who had a really good postseason, Robert Ulmer, and he can pitch a little bit. A little power hitter. I seen him had some big hits in some key moments last year. Middlesex will be back. Can they win another state title? It's almost like I'm never going to say Nastasi can't because he's always there. He does. Coach Nastasi always gets his team there. But I'm gonna opt on taking Shalleck this year. Shalleck is. I think they're going to get there with Pavrovsky. I mean, because he can do it all. He can just do it all. I mean, he's a one-man show.
You talk about Jared Pokrovsky.
Yeah.
Jared Pokrovsky is might be the most fun hitter in the state to just watch do his thing. And he's upper 80s. He can win games on the mound. He can I'll tell you, Penn recruited some real studs in South Jersey. They're Ivy League program. Some of those Ivy Leagues have been knocking off big time programs. Penn goes down to Texas A&M, wins two out of
Texas A&M, yeah.
It's a lot of fun to see the Ivy League just bringing in some absolute studs. But even with Shalleck, South Jersey ones, they're never
Yeah, you can throw Paulsboro in there. Johnny Marcucci did a great job after he left GCIT. Went to Paulsboro, got an instant winner. Does a great job. I think they were 18-8 last year, 18-8 last year. Paulsboro
3 seed, I think, down there, and something they were really good.
Yep. I think they got a good chance to be in the mix too.
What are we looking at up north? I think it hit a little bit, but who are we looking at? Glen Ridge could be maybe a surprise.
Glen Ridge was the top seed last year.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how they lost, but they did. And Griffin Seibel is one of their good pitchers. I think it's, believe it or not, it's focus with the players. If they could focus and take one game at a time, Glen Ridge could have a chance. But I'm opting elsewhere. I like Waldwick. They returned Ryan Wolbert, pitcher, All-State first team, Group 1, and Rocco DiMena, good outfielder. Woodridge is going to be real good. Trey Packin, committed to Manhattan, and Nick Rizzo's great 1-2 punch on the mound, and Michael Sarlo, probably our next governor of New Jersey's father, Paul Sarlo. He's got a shot in the next 8 years, I think. I think Woodridge got a chance, but we can't forget New Providence. I mean, Dean Licari and Nick Bisaccia are back for New Prov, and I'll tell you what, watching them play, they ain't no group. They're not no Group 1 players. Those guys can play. They're Group 1 Division 1 baseball players. Those guys can play. New Providence is good.
Yeah, no,
they impressed me.
Give me a favorite for. You said Rumson for 2. Who's our favorite overall for 1?
I'm gonna go right back with New Prov. At the dark horse is Dayton. Dayton had a good year last year. They got a lot of guys back. They're just gonna have to figure it out on the mound and get a dominant guy and be able to compete. But I like New Prov.
Yeah, had the experience last year of getting to the finals. That's why I wouldn't look past in 2. I would never look past the Voorhees with Corey as the coach and really the whole team pretty much back from the state champs. I know I'll probably, if it is Rumson and Voorhees, I want to make sure I'm there. Maybe they move that down to Trenton for some reason, and that would be great. But yeah, there's so even and so much fun. All the brackets this year. We look forward to it. But that's our Group 2, Group 1 preview. We will be back for one more set of previews here, finishing off preview week tomorrow with our look at, I'd say top 10, but since I'm adding Hunt into the mix and I know I'm in there, they're in there somewhere. We're going to look at your top 10 plus 1, top 11 tomorrow on the Jersey Baseball Show. We'll see you tomorrow for the last installment of Preview Week.